Stop! In episode 89 of Man Up, I answered the question of how to get a mentor.
Masculinity for the intelligent man. I'm David Tian, Ph.D., and this is Man Up!
Hey, it's David Tian, Ph.D., and welcome to episode 89 of Man Up. And we are here in the suite. We're holding one of our summits here in Bangkok in this beautiful penthouse suite at the Méridien. We're on coffee break right now, so we got some sweets, way too much sugar here for everyone in there, but you know, we also balance it out with some fruit. Coffee and tea. Hello. We're going in here, going to the suite. So you can see there's a bedroom back there. And the guys are chatting here. It's our mastermind, so it's pretty casual. One of our guys came in from the US and brought a lot of some special treats there. But I'll be here, so let's just do it here. Okay. So got a question from the private group, and it comes from John, and it boils down to how do I get a mentor? All right. So how do I get a mentor? So let's answer that first. How do you get a mentor? And this is ironic because we're filming it at the Mastermind, and that's all about your peer group, raising the standards of your peer group, because the quality of your life is a reflection of the expectations of your peers. You know, you might have heard the rule of five. You become like the five people you associate and spend the most time with. So these are all ways of explaining the same thing. So why would you want to get a mentor? It's to level up. That's the best way to get anywhere, by the way. So just motivating that question from John. So I'm trying to keep this short. You guys notice most of my videos are way past 5 minutes. So I'm going to try to do 5 minutes here. Well, just one more thing, actually. Anytime I want to get really good at something fast, which is, like, time is really valuable for me, especially these days, I will pay extra to get the one-on-one coaching. Whether this is in business coaching, or fitness, or martial arts, or whatever skill I want to pick up, or language, I'll hire the tutor, I'll hire the one-on-one coach. Because the time savings is like a 10 to 1 on that. And time is way more valuable to me than usually the cash value of the coaching time. So anyway, that's something I do. So I know really well how to get a mentor. Now, a mentor and a coach are different things, or a teacher and a mentor are different things. So how do you make a coach into the mentor? That's the most direct route. There are ways to get a mentor who is like a friend who takes you under his wing and all of that. That's a more circuitous route. That takes a longer time. That is about building a relationship and cultivating a relationship. And if you have the connections, you should seek that person out. If you know somebody who's a friend of a friend, or your uncle's friend or something like that, you should take them out. Take them to treat them to a coffee, and be very careful with their use of that time. Really appreciate it. List your questions out ahead of time. Do the homework on this guy. And the first thing you should do whenever you meet them, and so that's the best way, right? The natural way. But what if you don't have a network? What if your friends of a friend or your relatives aren't able to give you access to the people that you were wanting to be your mentor? And by the way, you should find a mentor who is a minimum 5 years ahead of where you are. Like 5 years ahead of where you are in reaching your goal. Preferably a guy who's a person who's 10 or 20 years ahead of where you are in reaching that goal that you're looking for. Okay, and that's somebody that I would pay if I were you, for the most direct route. If your network does not include this person. If your peripheral network does not include that person, I would pay for the coaching as your foot in the door, and have that one session, or maybe that intro session, and then just the difference you'd have to make there is that you have to move beyond just a student-teacher relationship. So that's when you then get them emotionally invested in your outcome, in your success, and you have to show them that you're actually leveling up. You're getting better and better and better. And after that, once they get emotionally invested in you, they will give more than they would in the terms of time. They will get, as soon as somebody's emotionally invested in you, they'll be thinking about you outside of their billable hours, so to speak, right? They'll be taking you under the wing. They'll be taking you for social events and actually bringing you into their lives. Okay, so how do you make that jump other than achieving and doing what they're saying and doing really well at it? Well, the first thing is you should give value. Like try to give as much of yourself to meet their needs. And now you're like, well, I don't have anything to give to this mentor. Well, actually, that's the question I'm going to answer in the next episode. So I'm going to bracket that. But the first thing you should do is to get them invested in you. You need to open up and be completely vulnerable with your weaknesses. You don't try to hide don't try to pretend to be better than you are. Okay, and then you get them, they're gonna help you now because you paid them to start. But now they're gonna become invested in their own work. They're giving you coaching, they wanna see the outcome of that. Nobody enjoys putting time into a client or into a project and not getting that project to fruition, not seeing the results of it. So they're going to be invested in you just by the nature of you opening up and allowing that work to happen, and then you actually doing the work. And then the last things to close on this episode. But the next question I'm going to answer is directly related to this. So make sure you also look at episode 90. The last thing I'm going to mention is that you need to look for criticism. Look for criticism. In fact, a lot of the guys who want to get mentoring, they're afraid of criticism. It's like they close up when they start to actually get critical feedback. You should seek out critical feedback. And like a good mentor or good coach at the beginning will be careful in the way that he words criticism so that you don't close down and get offended. But that's just sort of a waste of time. Like you got to get that. So he doesn't have to do a slow startup and a warm-up to the criticism. Just get right to it. Just give me the 3 things I'm doing wrong, the 2 things I need to do as a result, and let's get to it now. And that attitude will really endear you to your coaches and turn them into mentors that will get them emotionally invested in you. Okay, I hope that was under 5 minutes, something like that. Okay, cool. And I hope you can hear me over the conversation in the room. So that was episode 89. Make sure you join the private Facebook group. Join the group. I'll see you in the group, and make sure you ask your questions there, and I'll see you in the next episode as well. Until next time, man up!